Hello, everyone. I'm Soda, and I am here today with Mr. Salsa, and we are going to talk about how all creatives, no matter whether you're an artist or a musician or a writer, whatever, you would benefit from learning how to dance. And Mr. Salsa here, you teach online on YouTube and a little bit on Instagram, and you teach at weddings, events, all sorts of places. And I know you kind of specialize in beginner dancers or non-dancers. And do you want to explain a little bit about why you got into dance, why you decided you wanted to teach others how to dance, and why you have been doing so much with YouTube and just online in general?
Absolutely. So I'm a firm believer that one of the best ways to make a positive impact to your community and society is to share your passion and talents. And so I want to teach the world how to dance salsa one step at a time. And what better platform to do that in YouTube? It's the perfect platform because you can reach to everyone in the world. And so that's one of the main reasons why I started teaching on YouTube. It's, one of my goals is to become an international dancer and get to travel to teach my love and joy, my passion for dance, especially salsa. And so that's one of the main goals of me teaching. And also, I just love seeing people grow from their shells out. They don't know how to dance, and then now they become this amazing dancer, and then they can express their joy and their love and their passion and their newfound hobby for dance.
Yeah, because it is so nerve-wracking when you're not a dancer sometimes to go somewhere, whether it's like a club or, someone's wedding and everyone's dancing. You're just like, I don't feel comfortable with this. So just getting out of your shell, definitely. And you talked about confidence and stuff. What are some ways that learning how to dance can give you that confidence, and how can that confidence help you in other aspects of your life, especially for people who might be writers or artists or any other sort of
Yeah,
creative?
absolutely. Yeah. So I've seen a lot of my students come to me when they're at their lowest points of confidence. And, you feel for them and you want to help them out one way or another. And by teaching them how to dance, you're helping them understand themselves, number one. But number two, you're also helping them build a confidence that they thought they didn't have, right? And so to see people who are, they're not secure with themselves or they're insecure and they feel like they have no confidence whatsoever, but then you see them pushing through more and more and more, and then you see the confidence and they just rebuild tremendously. It's one of the most incredible things to see, honestly. And I've witnessed that so many times with my students, and I love seeing that where they're extremely shy or just the confidence is not even there, and now they are blossoming and they're just it's just I love that. I really love that.
Yes, and I could attest to that with I know my senior year of high school or my senior year of college,
Mhm.
I was like at my breaking point. I'm like, I don't even know if I could do this. I was really struggling with my classes the previous semester, and that semester was going to be really, really hard classes. And I decided that I was going to take just a one credit dance class on the side and really pushing myself. I even volunteered. It was a beginning group, and she needed people to volunteer to perform at the
Yeah.
end of the
Yeah,
semester
yeah, yeah.
a waltz that we had worked on, because it was all sorts of ballroom dances, type salsa, swing, waltz, all of those.
Yep.
And I swear that that's a huge reason why I was able to graduate from college, because of that confidence that dance gave me. And that's why I reached out to you on YouTube, because I was remembering that. So again, I'm really glad that you were able to with me on that. And I think that one of the other things that helped me, in addition to confidence, was working. I know this is kind of hard when you're alone by yourself, but
Mhm.
working with someone else, with a dance partner. Can you
Yeah,
talk a little bit about how that plays into it and how that could help you as a creative?
absolutely. Yeah, it's just it's two different brains, right? So two different ideas, two different perspectives, just bringing that together, it can just help build a tremendous amount of ideas, and the possibilities can be even infinite, honestly, because you can think about going right, they might be going left, but then you come back together, intersecting in a cross, and then you jump in the air and then come back to there. It's incredible to understand that no matter where you are in your life, or just like what your backstory or your history is, the different ideas that you bring or your different perspectives that you bring, especially when it comes to partner dancing, it can really amplify your dance to the next level, and also help you be extremely creative and get out of that. Let's say you're like stuck in the wall, or you feel like you can't move on with a certain like a certain choreography, or even like something that's going on in your life. But if you have those two point of views coming together, then it can help you see a different perspective, or even a different point of view that you probably didn't even expect. And you're like, oh, like it was just right there all along. Like, okay. And then from there, you start building each other up and start helping each other build even more ideas. And it just starts, it's like popcorn. It just keeps going and going and going. And that's why it can be up to infinite, because the possibilities of two heads coming together, especially in a partnership, is incredible.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love it because when you're a creative, you are often working with a client,
Mhm.
at least with being an artist, and you have to make what they want, but they also need to understand you as a professional, what would be best, and being able to collab like that, I feel like that's such an important lesson. So I also wanted to talk about some of the physical benefits because as a creative, it is so, so important for your body to be as healthy as possible. And we often get bored with the standard workouts. And I was wondering if you could go into a little bit about why dance is such a good workout for creatives and all the benefits physically that it could do for us.
Absolutely. Well, there's a nice quote I like to say all the time. If the body is moving, the brain is grooving. And so, one of the best benefits out there when it comes to exercise overall in general is just to help you be more creative. Your your mental statement is going to be much better, right? And with dancing, it's taking that to the next level. And so you're using your whole body, not just isolating one part of your body as you would if you go to a traditional workout in the gym, right? With dancing, you're using your whole body, you're using your brain, you're getting that hand to eye to body to feet coordination. You're like quadruple tasking as well, because sometimes you might be moving your left shoulder one way, your head might be moving the other way, your feet are doing another thing. So now you're working your brain in ways that you thought you never could have done before, right? And knowing that and having those benefits by just dancing, it's beyond incredible, because you would never expect dancing to be like that. You would think like, oh, okay, I'm just dancing because I just want to do something for fun and that's it. But behind the scenes, there's so many more benefits than just dancing, right? It's great for your cardiovascular muscles. It's great for stamina. It's great to build endurance. It's great for there's so many more benefits out there. I mean, the list can go on, right? But the one main thing I will say, it is by far the best exercise out there compared to just running or even doing weights. Dancing in general is by far one of the best exercises out there.
I know you do a lot of different types of dances, but if salsa is your main thing, how did you really connect with salsa dancing?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so with dancing salsa, it started with my family. So I always watched them dancing when I was a kid at parties, at family gatherings. And personally, I wasn't a big fan of it. It's just funny, right? I was more into hip hop and breakdancing and popping and locking and all that. And it was in high school that I took a salsa class. And from there, once the teacher saw my potential and was like, "Hey, I love the way you dance. I love your energy. Come on, and take some more classes and everything." She introduced me to other instructors, festivals, congresses, and then the rest is history. So I fell in love with it, and now here I am doing something I love and I'm passionate about. But it's incredible to know that when you're dancing in general, right? Everybody's gonna have their own different tastes for dances, right? Some people might like East Coast swing, some might like hip hop, some might like break dancing, some may like country music, some may like salsa, whatever the case may be, right? Everybody's cup of tea will be different, but at the end of the day, the one important thing is to listen to the music. If it's something that attracts you and you're like, oh, I love this music and I want to know how to dance this kind of music, there we go. That's what's going to entice you to learn how to dance that style or that genre. And then from there, your journey will begin.
And it's funny because like sometimes I don't like certain style music, but
Mhm.
I like dancing, the dance moves that they do. Like
Right.
I hate country music, but I like going country dancing. And
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
um and I noticed that sometimes it could be frustrating when there are certain rules to dancing and you want to break them, but then if you break them, then it might confuse your partner or you might get an injury. What
Right.
are, from your perspective, what are some of the important reasons to kind of understand basic steps of a specific kind of dance and then kind of add your own style, or are you even able to add your own style with dancing?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. So every dance genre or style is going to have their own certain rules, right? And yes, you can adhere to them if you want to, or if you don't want to, then that's where you make your own dance style. But in general, you tend to follow the rule of the dance, right? If there's a follow or lead perspective, you choose whichever you want. Because especially when it comes to partner dancing, let's just say if I'm dancing with another leader and they want to follow now, right? If they don't have any dance experience following, then that can be a cause for injury. Because if I'm trying to lead them to the left, but they go to the right, I get an elbow in the face, right? Accidents can happen.
I've done
So
that.
yeah, and I've got hit before, and it happens. I got stepped on my foot because the follower I was dancing with, thought to go forward with the left leg, and I went forward with my left leg, and then something happened. We crashed knees, and then she stepped on my foot. It was a hot mess, but it happens, right? The thing is, though, I will say, as long as there's an understanding between each other, and be like, hey, what is your preferred dance style? Great. All right. Do you lead? Do you follow? Or do you kind of do your own thing? Ask them in advance. And then from there, you can choose what you want to do next for if you want to dance partner wise or you want to dance as a solo wise. Because in salsa dancing, especially, you have partner dancing, but you also have solo dancing that we call in Spanish salsa suelta. If I translate that, it means like solo salsa or salsa, loose salsa, the little translation. So with salsa suelta, it's dance on its own. You don't need a partner. But of course, traditional salsa, you do have a partner to dance with because it's a partner dance. So it just applies, the rules apply differently for every style of dance, right? Because in hip hop, you dance by yourself, but you could do partner dancing in hip hop, right? In ballet, it can be done by itself, right? A lot of ballet dancing is done by itself. But of course, you can do it in partner dancing, and that's why you have a bass, where the guy will pick up the lady and doing her ballet, beautiful steps and all that stuff, right? Or whoever's lifting or jumping in the air. You always have a partnership, right? But certain dances will require solo dancing, and then certain dances will require partner dancing.
And it's like I never thought of that until like while I was talking with you about how similar it is to with writing and with art, how like how these pieces go together and how important the fundamentals are. I also wanted to ask you, how has dance helped you socially? Because I know as creatives, a lot of us have a really hard time being our extroverted selves. We're really introverted. And how can going somewhere to learn to dance help you with that?
Absolutely. So the biggest thing, it's a great icebreaker. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a great way to know people as well from different walks of life that you would not normally meet, right? So I have friends who are like engineers, who are salesmen at like car dealerships, or who are working in the medical field that I will never have met them in a normal day-to-day life, right? But through dancing, you get to meet incredible people that you're like, whoa, you do that? That's what you do for a living? Like, that's so cool. And so it's such a great way to meet new people, right? It's a great icebreaker as well, just to say hi and start building everlasting friendships, but also even relationships as well.
Yes, yeah. I have met so many friends. I used to go do country swing and swing dancing every week, and I met so many great people there. And I'm really shy, and it was just like a way for me to just go out and meet people without it feeling really intimidating. So I
Right,
am a firm believer in that. And you
absolutely.
mentioned about like how people would say, "Oh, wow, you do this for a living." Can you talk a little bit about how it is for you doing something that you're very passionate about, something that you love, as a living? Does that make it less enjoyable for you, or do you just see it in a different way? Do you do things different on your own time?
That's a great question. You know what? Okay, so to be completely honest, by me doing this now full time, I see it in a very positive light. So here's the thing: when I first started, I just wanted to be a good dancer. That's it. I just wanted to be a great dancer, get to know people, and that's it. It's only when my teacher saw my potential in me and she was like, "Hey, Hebert, you know what? Let me push you. Let me show you what else is out there." When I saw what else is out there and I saw the hill is going even higher, I was like, "Oh man, that's gonna be a challenge." But my personality is I love a challenge. And so from there, when I saw that there's more hills to climb, the challenges got harder and harder. But I was like, you know what? Let's keep going. And from there on, it only happened. It took me maybe less than a year. From there, I started teaching, and then from there, opportunities start opening up. And they're like, "Hey, do you do private lessons? Oh, hey, I have a cousin who's doing a quinceañera, or I have a sister who's going to be getting wed. She's going to get married soon, and we need a choreographer and all that. Or hey, this event here in Wells Fargo is looking for a dance instructor. I know you, and I work for Wells Fargo. Can you help me out here?" Absolutely. And so by me doing this full time, it's honestly one of the best things and best choices I've done in my life. I had nine to five jobs before, and even though I still had those 9 to 5 jobs, I always go back to dancing. Always, always, always. And so I just took that leap of faith one day, and I'm so glad I did it. I don't regret it one bit at all.
I just love all your stories. I feel so excited after because, yeah, I know so many people are like, you shouldn't do something that you love for a living because then you're going to start hating it. And in some cases, you might if it's not under the right circumstances.
Correct.
But,
Absolutely.
for a lot of us, like it really can be such a wonderful thing. And you mentioned that people would tell you about these different opportunities. How did you kind of shout it out to the people that you know that you are a dancer and that you do teach dance? Because I know a lot of us will have a creative skill,
Mhm.
but we're kind of scared to like really talk about it. How do you really go about letting people know, but without being obnoxious?
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. Because that's a good question, Derek. So okay, so honestly, for me, it's like we talked about earlier about how you're building your confidence. So my confidence became really high to the point that I feel very confident in my art, in my dancing, and my technique and my style. So from there on, I took it to that next level, saying like, "Hey, I'm an instructor now, and I want to make sure I dedicate myself to be the best instructor I can be and the best dancer I can be." Right, and I'm always challenging myself. This is where a lot of people can get shy about, because sometimes you may be great at something, but you don't know how to express it or tell people like, "Hey, this is what I'm doing now full time." Right. Fortunately for me, when I saw the opportunity that people were asking me like, "Hey, do you teach? Hey, do you do this? Hey, do you do that?" That's when the light bulb clicked. And I was like, "Hey, maybe I should do this full time or part time for now." And I was young. I was maybe 16, 17. And from there, more opportunities arose, and then they're like, "Hey, we need you here. Hey, we need you there. We need you this over there, over that. Can you do a choreography for this and that? We need an extra dancer because our one dancer dropped out last minute. I know you're great at choreography. Can you help us out? We need a backup dancer." Whatever the case may be. At that time, I was taking every opportunity I can just to increase my dance knowledge, and also just become a better dancer and just be more involved with the community. And I'm glad I did that. And now here I am doing what I love, and now I can confidently say that this is what I do full time. And I love the expressions that people get when I tell them, like, I do this full time. They ask me, oh, so what do you do besides the dancing? I'm like, that's what I do full time. They're like, what? Like, really? Like, yeah, this is what I really do full time from morning till nighttime. I do this full time. And so they're like, that is awesome. And from there, they start asking more questions about, like, how did you start, my history, my background. And then from there, they're like, okay, do you do events for this or for that? I'm like, absolutely. And so, yeah, that's how it is.
Living the dream life. Oh my gosh. And you don't really have to be worried about being replaced with AI anytime soon.
That's
So
very true.
that's something good going for you. And then, so a lot of my subscribers do have disabilities and some sort of impairments, and they feel that they might not be able to go out and dance because of whatever that situation is. And what are some ways that dance can be accessible for even those of us who do have some physical issues that we're dealing with?
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, if you can move your body one way or another, that's all you need to do. I mean, I've taught people in wheelchairs, and that was a big challenge for me when I first started, but I love that challenge. I was like, okay, how can I help this person dance and understand what I'm trying to teach them? And this helped me also be an instructor to not think of it as like the now, but thinking it more in their shoes and be like, okay, if I was sitting in a wheelchair, how can I interpret dancing in my version, in my way, right? If I was in a wheelchair. So I had to think outside the box in order to be a better instructor for them, right? And that helped me understand more people because I helped out people who were, of course, in wheelchairs, in crutches, that have autism. So I've done a lot of pretty much the whole spectrum, and it's been a great challenge, and I love that challenge. But I want to let people know that do not get discouraged if you have a disability. If you can move your body one way or another, that's all you need. You can just move your shoulders, your arms, your head, whatever you can do, move the body. If you remember, if the body is moving, the brain is grooving.
Yes, yes, yes. Love that so much. And then last question before I let you go. So let's say someone is just really, they like the idea of learning to dance, but they're scared to take that first step. How can something like your YouTube channel, which I'd love for you to talk a little bit about as we close, and also any local events, how can they get started and what could be the first step that they take?
The best thing is to just start, but also take advantage of the resources. We live in a world where we have YouTube, right? So if you don't feel comfortable going out at first, watch some YouTube videos and then learn at the comfort of your own home. For example, my channel, right? I have videos for beginners, for intermediates, and for advanced dancers, right? For all three levels. And then I have little snippets that you can take and be like, hey, let me see like a little salsa snip I can watch and like, oh, that's pretty cool. I can watch that later and practice that later. So take advantage of the resources that we have right now. When it comes to events and classes and all that, check what's out there in the community. See if you have Nextdoor or what's it, like Facebook, even Instagram. Check out to see what is out there when it comes to your local community or events, and see what dances they have availability, or if there's a studio there, if they have any like events going on. Check it out and be like, hey, when's the next salsa class, or when's the next bachata, when's the next ballet or bangara, whatever the case may be, right? But also find an instructor that you can connect with. And you might go through trial and error finding a proper instructor to be like, oh, I connect with this instructor, but I don't connect with this one, and that's okay. But do not get discouraged because it takes that one instructor to help you flourish, right? It happened to me. It just took that one instructor. She had a lot of faith in me, and from there I flourished. So it's okay to search and find the right instructor for you, because at the end of the day, it's your choice, right? You want to choose a dance that you feel you can connect with, but also you want to choose an instructor that you feel the same way that they're feeling with you when it comes to the music and to the dance, so that you can interpret it the way you want to interpret it.
Yes, absolutely. Everyone, go subscribe if you are interested in learning. It's just salsa on there, right?
Just salsa at the moment, yes.
Yeah, which is, one of the best, if not the best, type of dancing, in my opinion. So, yes, go connect over there and on Instagram. And thank you again for meeting up. Is there anything else you want to part with?
Yeah, no, for just for everybody out there, just remember, even the greatest dancers out there had to start from ground zero. So do not get discouraged. Start your dance journey wherever you are, and I hope to see you soon.
All right. Bye, everyone.